All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, September 16th Board of Condemnation and Blight meeting. The time is now 2:03 p.m. Call to order approval of minutes for July 15th of 2024.
I make a motion to approve with some edits.
Okay. Sands, I'm sorry.
I second it.
Call to order approval. If we may, I just want to recognize who's here and who's absent today. In presence, Phil Higgins, Sands Cleary. Not in attendance today is Pat Mahoney from Building, and we have our recording secretary, Andrea Flynn. So approval of minutes for July 15th, you mentioned
Under 20 Morehouse, it says the property has not significant changed the debris. I think it means significantly changed. The debris on the side yard still has to be removed. And 222 Stilson, I believe that's in the first line, received with a D, received approval from Wetlands Commission. And then I think that was all I had in terms of just some typos. So with those amendments, those edits or changes.
Okay. I'll second that. And then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So any new communications?
Nope.
No, hearing none.
One email that came through, but I don't know if that counts. I think that's already on the list on the agenda.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that either. Okay. So we have one new communications. Okay, and this came in, just in the past couple of days. I recommend we add it to next month's.
We'll take a look at it and add it to next month's agenda.
Okay.
Great.
Condemnation, old business, 1237 Stratfield Road.
The parking spots are blocked with spray paint on the lots, cones across. The wall hasn't been repaired yet, but it's adequately blocked, and they've cleared out the overgrowth around it looks like in preparation to get access to it.
And I'm fairly certain permits are coming in soon.
Okay.
I believe permits will be coming in soon for the repair. So, 92 Grassmere Avenue. There's really not any change there. We could talk about that under blight, I guess?
Yeah.
All right. Any new condemnation? Hearing none. Go to number 6, blight ordinance, old business, 46 Aponni Street. Today was a scheduled hearing, however.
The owner came in, spoke with me, has already taken some action, and he says he's trying to get rid of the car. He had to submit to get a title, but he said he can't make it to the meeting, but he understands and not fighting it, and he's already taken some action to help clean it up. So I would say I'll make a motion that it meets the criteria for blight. We could declare it that, send him a notice, but he's willing to comply.
I went by there recently, and the yard looks great. You can definitely see that there's been forward progress made, so I agree. We'll leave it on.
I'm going to vote it. Are you going to second that? I made a motion.
I'm sorry. Yes, I will second that.
All right.
Hearing any discussion? I already kind of made my discussion, but all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 92, Grassmere Avenue.
So, the understanding that I think we all had with Mr. Wisniewski and the individual he entered into contract with to purchase the property was that he would make repairs sufficient to pause the fines, which the person under contract did, and we paused the fines. There's since been no action on the sale and demo of the property, which is what we were advised was going to happen very quickly once we paused the fines. I understand the attorney is trying to waive or try to reduce the amount of fines and is working with the town attorney on that. But I feel like at this time, and I'll put it on a motion and we can discuss it, but I'll make a motion that the property is continuing to degrade and that we should resume the fines that were paused based upon the roof continuing to degrade, and that, the exterior portions are still continuing to degrade in some degree.
Can we just have a motion then, because there's no way I'm going to repeat all of that?
Yeah, so, that's a motion to resume fines at 92 Grassinger based upon...
I will second that.
Okay, so the discussion is, I think it's, it's been sitting there for a few months. The work that they did to pause it is already starting to deteriorate. There's a large board, fascia board in the front that's now hanging off. The boarded up windows and doors that were supposed to be temporary are no longer being done so in a temporary fashion. So that's my reasoning behind that.
I will agree with all of those reasons, and the fencing that was supposed to secure the property is now open, which, makes me a little uneasy, seeing that anyone can just pretty much go in and out. And there's been no forward progress. I mean, it's solved. What was told to us was the reason that we suspended it, and it hasn't taken place in months. So there's a second on the motion, and I'll call for any other discussion.
No.
Okay, hearing none. Motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, 904 High Street.
So that's hearing today. It has some rotted wood on the outside, has a few openings where birds are going into the structure of the house and I've made nests, so I saw at least 3, and then some defective exterior portions with concrete and window sills rotting out. And so I would make a motion that it meets the criteria for blight and to send them a notice of determination.
I will second. I don't believe there's any discussion needed, so all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, number 4, 20 Morehouse Highway.
Yeah, well,
as amended.
Yeah, it's no significant change. It looks like work is continuing there. They had a couple things in the back of a truck ready to be hauled away, it looked like, but again, no significant progress, so I'd just suggest to leave it on being fined.
Yeah, it's already being fined. Leave it on. Number 5, 583 Riverside Drive. Called for a hearing today.
I'll make a motion to rescind the hearing because the owner complied with the requests.
All right, I'll second that motion. Any need for discussion?
I'll just add that we remove it from the agenda due to compliance.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Number 6, 57 Rockridge Road.
Yep, continued progress, slow but steady. There, a few more things have been removed. One of the vehicles is gone now. They still have the dumpster present, so, but they're still working on it. But again, the property is much improved and a significant reduction of the items.
Forward progress.
Yep.
And remain on, correct?
Yep.
All right, we'll leave that on. Then number 7, 222 Stilson Road. I looked at it recently. I mean, it definitely meets the definition of blight. The roof is starting to sag in more so than it did before. The windows are rotting around it. I mean, the siding's getting worse, but I know there was a code enforcement meeting on it. There was a zoning meeting held on the property, and I believe at this point they've called for a public hearing when it comes to zoning. So
yeah, I think the neighborhood has appealed the decision, I think, and so that may delay it some. Yeah. So again, I think the owner's taking action to try and resolve these things, and he just happens to be meeting with resistance. So I would say just leave it on for now.
Okay. Leave it on. All right. With no other old business, new business now. 61 Constant Comment Way.
DPW took this one and 115 Hulls and Kings Highway Cutoff. Took those as they didn't meet the blight criteria, but were under DPW.
So, good, remove those if they're not even on, so. 1260 Merwin's Lane was for the Halloween prop.
Yeah. So I talked with Matt Decker. He said it doesn't represent a zoning violation. They don't view those as structures requiring any approvals by zoning. That both your office and the building official inspect it, inspect the properties to make sure that there's no safety risks. Seems like if zoning says it's an allowable activity, what they're doing there, and building and fire marshal have said there's no hazards there, I don't think we have grounds to take this up as blight. You know, given the Chris Taylor property where he was using it, the use was in accordance with, you know, what zoning allows.
Right.
And so if zoning allows this, I don't think we have any grounds to.
Okay.
That was the cross highway property,
yeah. Merwin's Lane, yeah.
So I'll make a motion, it doesn't meet the criteria for blight, and that we remove it from the agenda.
215 Roland Road. I saw that there was a request for assistance or...
Yep. So we were able to connect them with social services. Social worker has been out there to meet with the owner. They've already taken some action to mow the grass and tidy up a little bit. There was a complaint about the garage structure, which I looked at it today again, and with the grass cut, I could get a little closer, and it, you know, doesn't look like there's any lean to it, any sag to it. It's open, but there's no violation there. So I would say it doesn't meet the criteria for blight at this point.
All right. 125 Stella Lane. There's two cars that are off the road. I personally, I don't recall if this was vehicles that belong to residents up there or if they're...
Yes, they're owned by the people who own that property. Matt Decker asked them to move them, and rather than move them, well, he asked that police tag them, and the police tagged them, and Pat had asked them to remove them, and the people went and got the two cars registered. And so the police said, once they're registered, we don't have the authority to tow them. And Matt said his ordinance says they just have to be registered. So he referred it to us because we have registered and operable. And so I would say we send them a notice for a hearing. I mean, it's obviously there's two cars there, which appear inoperable, although albeit registered.
Is the property that the cars are currently stored on their property?
I believe it is.
Yeah?
I believe it is. I believe I looked at the map and it's there.
Okay.
But either way, police wouldn't tow it.
Okay.
Matt asked the police to tow them, and they said they can't.
Okay.
They tagged them to warn it, and the owner got them registered to prevent it.
Okay. So
we'll send them a notice of hearing. I mean, it meets the criteria for blight.
Sure.
It's inoperative unregistered vehicles.
Okay.
Or we'll determine through the notice that if they are inoperative, but they haven't moved in years according to the complainants.
That's how it looks too. All right. So we'll add that, and then finally 454 Vernon Hill Road. I was kind of hoping Pat might be here. Because, it looks to me like it's a building under construction.
This is a June 2023 image from Google, so it's been sitting there for at least a year and a quarter.
It's looked like that for a year.
And it looked like that, and so I would say it's missing siding.
Yes, it is.
And that we send them a hearing notice.
I would agree. It looks like it's a nice piece of property. The fence, the wall looked great. It's just the siding.
Beautiful everywhere. Just no siding.
All right. Anything else?
I have nothing.
I have nothing. Andrea, anything?
No, that was it.
Okay, with no other additional business, the time is now 2:17 p.m.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.